just this slightly bit. So when you go to broadcast, it's technically easier, which is good, but I keep forgetting because I'm so used to like click and drop down, and it's like, hey, chat room, howdy, anyone there? Can you hear us?
Here we go.
Hopefully.
Please hear us. Please.
Please, pretty please. Pretty please. That would be good. It's like, hi guys. Hi, Rude. Can you hear us okay? I get a hi, but until someone says yes,
can you hear us?
Yeah. Yes, sound
thank
is
God.
okay. Yay! That's positive. Okay. Fantastic.
Can you hear me all right? Check.
Check. Test. 1, 2.
Jump to. Jump to.
Jump in, jump back. Jump in, jump back. I'm guessing so. I'm hoping so.
Little Wayne's World 2 reference there.
Yeah. Yep. They sound okay. All right. Well, that's good. All right. Let me test this one. Rude, can you hear this one?
Coffee is my blood.
I'm hoping so. And yes, about beer. No. You are too funny. All right, and I just want to quickly make sure that the intro plays now that you guys can hear. So give me 2 secs. How's that? Did that come through okay? Yes, intro. Okay.
I heard it. Yeah.
Yay! All right, well, that's positive. So excellent. So thank you very much. Thank you. I did play around with like recording earlier to see, see how it would come up, Chris. Seriously. Thank you. 26 months, woman. What? Crazy. Heart you. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. Yeah, so I played around and did the whole heap of recording where I'm going test 555,000 just to make sure that everything was working, and everything seemed to come through okay, so that was good. But I've got a travesty. I've got an absolute travesty. Guess what's happened? Anyone?
Not your coffee pot again.
It's I just run out of coffee beans. I run out of coffee beans.
You run out of how?
I don't know. Like, it's just one of those things. I thought I had an extra bag of beans in the cupboard, and I went and I'm like, okay, there's nothing here. Where is it? And then I was like, holy damn, I must have drank that, like, because I normally buy them in like 1 kilo lots, and yeah, I only
need to start buying them in 2s.
I know, yeah. So I've managed to scrape some coffee. So we have got probably a cup and a half. That's about it. So
that's not good.
Yeah.
You need to send someone to the store like now.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to make an emergency dash like after the show. So, because I'm like, how have I gone through that much? That's well, I know why. So, being busy. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's like my house too. We look around and it's like, oh, we're out of coffee again.
I've got heaps of ground stuff, but one of the machines I has takes the beans, and it's just nicer. So that way it's more instant than like putting what do you guys call it? French press. Making the French press and waiting. So I can still have coffee, but I didn't have time when I was making to make the full lot. So I've still got a B. I think Stone sent me some Canadian Tim Hortons. When was that? Last year? And I'm still going through. He sent me like 6 bags. So yeah, it's a bit crazy. But anyway, we've got that. I don't know if I'm going to need the aircon on. It's warm today. Is it cold over there for you guys at the moment, or starting to get cooler?
Yeah, at my house it is. It was a perfect like 61 degrees today.
Our weather here changes on a dime. West Arkansas, we're kind of in the middle of the country. So Friday morning, like from 3 a.m. to 10 a.m., we had a frost advisory. Tomorrow, or today, we have a wind advisory. Tomorrow it's supposed to be 71 and thunderstorms. I don't know.
Wow.
That sounds exciting.
Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna rain. I can feel it. Tomorrow's not gonna be a day, but yeah, I don't know what's going on. I was like, oh, I should take the air conditioner out of the window, and then it hit 80, and I'm like, what? I want my window back.
26. I've got 26.
And I'm in Oregon, so it's rain and 45 degrees is coming my way for the next 6 months, and I can't wait.
Wow. Nice. Okay, so I just converted it. I'm 79 degrees at the moment in Brisbane. So that's not, it's supposed to get up to, where are we? It's supposed to get up to 85.
That would be an aircon day for me.
Yeah. So it's getting warm. Like, it's not even summer here, and it's already started. So you get that.
Our room is hot though with all the computer equipment in it, so it could be like 50 outside, and I might still have the air running because it's so hot in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 16 degrees Celsius at my house today.
Nice. That's yeah, that's nice. I like that. That's a good one. All right. Okay, I think we'll get this show started. It's gone 9 a.m. my time, which is 7 p.m. Eastern. So, are you guys ready? We're ready. Oh. All right. Okay, so let's do this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Whatever it is you enjoy about the World of Warcraft, we have a challenge for you.
Adventure.
Crafting.
Flowers.
This is the WoW Challenges podcast. And here's your host, Leeta.
Hello and welcome to the WoW Challenges podcast. This is episode 238. Today is Saturday, October 17, 2020. I'm your host, Leeta. Joining me this week is Nisey. Hey, Nisey. Thank you for being here.
Howdy. You're welcome. Anytime.
Excellent. And everything's working, so I'm really excited to have this man back, because 2 weeks ago it was like, Windows update, we hate you. So Cy's here. Hey, how are ya?
Hey, how's it going?
Great. Thank you for coming back, and thank you for coming to have a chat. We've been really excited to have a chat with you and find out how your adventures are going. Obviously, there's been a couple of changes from when you've started playing to now. So we're going to have a chat through all of this. So I think we should start off and get you to tell everyone a little bit about yourself, please.
Yeah, so I am a host of a podcast called Scrubs vs. the World. It's where I talk to folks and interview them in the hopes of gathering kind of that little nugget of knowledge that you gain from a friend that'll help you play a little bit better. Mm-hmm. So I know I had you on, Leeta.
Yes.
and you got me hooked on these hardcore tunes. So that's been really fun.
You're welcome.
I don't know if I start paying you soon for the addiction or if it's just free.
It's free. It's it's one of those things. It gets under your skin and then you're like, yeah, damn it. Yes, I'm a challenge player. Absolutely. So yeah. So welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been fun. Like I haven't had a chance to play recently just because of like life's been pretty crazy for me. But when I do play, like I find it to be a really like it I don't know, it's almost more engaging in a way because I have kind of that old school mentality. And I remember when Battle for Azeroth was kind of at its lowest point, kind of right around 8.1, right after the new kind of shiny doled out a little bit on the expansion. I was really down on the game just because the Azerite traits weren't fun and grinding all the gear for that. I just didn't enjoy it. So I wanted that kind of classic experience. And I wish I would have tried an Iron Man back then because I think that would have scratched that itch and kind of got me through the dark days, if you will.
It's definitely, I love, my main will forever be Leeta. She's my undead warlock and nothing's ever gonna change that. But that moment that you start playing the challenge tunes, and especially when you get to a point with some and when you die and you know that you're done, like the pain and the hurt and the like everything just is so devastating. It's just like, for me, it's just, yeah, they get under your skin in a good way, in such a good way. But yeah, it is definitely a very interesting way to play, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun as well.
Yeah.
So really
definitely
really glad that you're giving it a go. So yeah, Nisey, what have you got for Sai?
Okay, so how long have you been playing WoW in general, and when did you first start trying challenge characters?
So I have been playing since vanilla. I've been playing off and on since then. So like, I mean, I've been playing this game longer than my kids have been alive. So the only times I really took breaks was when my kids were born. And then, I can't tell you how many times during raid and stuff I'd have to stop and hold on, I got to get a bottle real quick, or I got to change a diaper. There's a blowout. But it's been since the beginning pretty much. And I started challenge tunes a couple months ago, actually. I've been wanting to do this mode. I saw Iron Man challenge years ago, and I just, for whatever reason, never pulled the trigger on a new character and tried this hardcore mode. And I don't know why, because I've always wanted to try it, but I finally did it, and I'm kind of doing it in a weird, not a weird way, but I'm doing it with RP elements to it to help remind me of what I'm playing. So I don't accidentally put on a green thing or drink a potion or something like that. So it's been kind of fun creating this whole little environment here to try the Iron Man.
It's awesome. I've been watching your tweets, and it seems like you're having a lot of fun, which is,
Absolutely. The tweets have been great.
They've been really good, really good. So it's, and again, you can make it what feels right for you. You're staying within the scope of the challenge. There's nothing to say you can't go do RP for it. So I know a couple of other people who enjoy that aspect, probably not to the same degree that you're doing, but it's still fun to see. So so we love to see that. So at the moment, you said you're currently working on just the Iron Man, correct?
Correct.
Right. So how are you going? What did you choose for race and class? I want to know the very first tune. The very first tune.
Right. Well, if you've been following my Twitter or Twitter. I've been trying to keep everybody updated. So when I play, I try to do as many tweets as I can to show where I'm at, what I'm doing, and kind of what my mindset is, I guess. So I started with an orc shaman. I wanted to play horde side because I'm mainly alliance, so I like playing kind of the early game as the horde because I missed a lot of that content, unfortunately. And so the story behind my first tune was his parents were killed by quillboars, so a quillboar raid happened.
Yes.
And so he got cursed by one of their warlocks, and he had to go find somebody in Zandalar, like a blood troll, to clean the curse off of him. Well, I didn't quite make it that far. I made it to the Barrens and got killed by a coal car.
Okay.
So then my second tune was a Tauren Paladin. And when I create these tunes, I'm trying to think in terms of what can I use where I can heal myself, and what's a good tune that has decent protection. So in case I get into a tough spot, I can get the hell out of there without too much issue. And what's going to protect me the most? So I figured plate wear is going to be good. I know it's melee, but once you get to, I think it's in the 30s, you get the charger talent where you get to, or not talent, but ability.
Yep.
So you can kind of do like a sprint basically. And I was like, okay, that'll be good. So the story for him was his dad was a diplomat, and his dad helped Cyrub's dad. And because he's a Tauren, he can't pronounce U's, so his name was Cyrub. So like a moo.
Nice.
And so I had another character on the server that I'm playing with that's not an Iron Man tune send him a letter saying, hey, Cyrub's dead. Your friend, your best friend. Because the two dads, so Cyrub's dad helped Cyrub's dad in a farming bill got passed or something in Orgrimmar, as I think was what I said. So he convinced Garrosh to let this happen. And so Cyrub lived in Thunderbluff, didn't really leave Thunderbluff, so he didn't know how the world works. So that's why he can't equip green things, because he doesn't understand what green things are and kind of stuff like that.
Yep.
And so he went to investigate Cyrub's death and found his body. Now his friend turned evil and sent him up to Ashenvale, where Cyrub met his unfortunate demise because of the stupid sharp beak hippogriffs and the stealth night elves in that area. Yeah, so they got me. And so I made an undead warlock. So I'm thinking, okay, I want to do a pet class now. Let's try a warlock. Let's see what happens. I can fear. I have hellstones. I can kind of get around that, right?
Yeah.
So his story was he was brought back to life to be a part of this kind of undead group to kind of make sure the horde's doing what it's supposed to be, like operating efficiently.
Yep.
And his name was Buford. And so because of that, the budget for this group that he's in, this department he's in, didn't have enough money to buy him equipment, so he can only pick up what he could find. But again, he doesn't know green things are better.
Yep.
So that's kind of where that came from. And he met his demise killing Knowles.
Oh, no.
I have a funny story on that. I don't know if you want me to tell now or...
Well,
I can tell
go
now.
for
But
it.
anyways,
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I killed Buford. I killed this one mob who was kicking my butt, and I finally killed him.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna tweet it out. So then I tweeted out, or started getting the tweet ready, and then I got attacked by like 3 mobs that rezzed all at once.
Yep.
So he died while I was tweeting. So don't do that.
Yep.
When you're playing an Iron Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Feel the pain. Yes.
So now I'm on an undead rogue whose name's Ramsfield, who was the captain of this group who brought Buford back. And so he's really excited that he's killing these things and kind of cleaning up Buford's lack of work.
Yep.
As he's calling it. But yeah, so I'm on undead rogue right now. I've almost died like 4 times.
Yep.
So this is going to be fun. But yeah, that's kind of the story on what I've been doing.
Nice. Nice. Well, you know what? It makes it sounds like it's so much fun. Like, I don't know about you, Nisey, but like listening to the stories,
I
it
want to do it.
it's so much fun. Like, I'm smiling, I'm laughing, like, just to hear all the stories of it. I think it's fantastic, and it's a really
Me
great
too.
way to do. So why
Yeah,
not?
and
Yeah.
absolutely. That's what helps keep you in the mind frame of, oh, don't do this or don't do that. This is a challenger. Hey, go for it,
Mm-hmm.
And these stories have been absolutely amazing. Like, I'm sitting here laughing along with Leeta. I'm like, oh my god, no.
And
Oh, that damn bird
I think we
got
can
me in Zord
all.
so many times.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And I think we can all feel about like when you're tweeting something, because I know from in game, like, I take my screenshot and I set it up, and I can tweet from in there, but it's always a matter of, am I in a safe place, or is the safe place actually a safe place? Because as soon as you log out, if you've taken an in-screen, an in-game screenshot, well, that goes, and then you've got to go to the file, and so you just want to do it right then and be like, get that to I just want to send out that picture, I want to show everyone. So I think a lot of us can really understand that for sure. So it's good to hear that you're having fun. But what I thought what I thought we'd also do is, being that you are very new to challenge playing, and and we know that everything has changed, just pre-patch has just hit and all of that, and we can incorporate some of that in shortly. But I want to ask you, as a new challenge player, have you got any questions that you would like to throw to myself, to Nisey, to the guys in the chat room, to the community? Because we've got a bit of knowledge between us all, and we all have different play styles and different things that we like to do, and there might be something that you'd like to know that perhaps could help you on your journey. So any questions, throw them at us. Tell us, what would you like to know?
Yeah, and well, my biggest question is, I like to do things a little more difficult, like in a way that's harder than it needs to be. That's just how I am. I don't know why. Pet classes. Do the pets actually help a lot? Because I know there's, and we can't use talents and everything or abilities. I know the pet power comes from a lot of those talents and abilities. Are pets really that beneficial to this challenge, because of most of that stuff, kind of their power lies within a forbidden zone, if you will?
Okay. All right. Good. I mean, good question. And again, I would say, you're talking to a warlock who loves her voidy, who loves the pets, as well as, hunter. I do love playing a hunter for a challenger. Not all the time, but I do have quite a few hunters. Nisey has also got a few alt challenge tunes. Will we say that? So Nisey, what would you say to what Sai's just asked about pets?
Boy. So in my personal experiences, I usually play bloodthirsty, so you're usually constantly in combat. Pets have a good points and pets can have bad points, and you gotta know how your pets are going to behave. So they kind of broke defensive stance at one point during a patch in the middle of BFA. So defensive doesn't really work like it used to, where your pet would just stand there until you get attacked. So your pet would behave like assistant stance, and it would just go. If you weren't prepared to tell your pet to come back immediately, it got me into a little bit of trouble. Or if you're jumping down a different level in like a ramp or what have you, The pet doesn't always teleport to you, it will run to you and bring everything with it. So that's kind of like the cons. Pros, they can help you in some tight spots. They can, like your hunter pets, and I believe the Voidwalker can taunt. So they can kind of get that aggro off you for just a second. They can take some of the harder hits.
And a con.
At times.
Yes.
Although right now I think they're saying hunter pets aren't taking as much damage as they usually do for some reason. There's a bug at the moment. But under normal circumstances, they can be helpful.
Yeah.
And the little tiny buff that your hunter pet brings in, like some animals will have leech, or some will have a slight bump to hit points or whatever. Those are allowed because it's part of your pet and it's part of the class. Sometimes those can be beneficial, especially if you're hell-bent on getting some of the more troublesome quests that we tend to suggest people stay away from. But they can have their good points and their bad points, and situational points where sometimes the Voidwalker works, sometimes you're better off with the imp. Or I'm better off with the spirit beast here if I have it tamed, or maybe not so much in this scenario, or like a cat for leech in this scenario or something. So I mean, they can come to your aid, and they can also descend madness upon you.
Oh yes. Let me expand on that. So as a warlock loving player who has many warlocks opposed to any other class, really, Voidy can be fantastic. It's a little harder now with the squish because the 6-second cast to get Voidy back is a bit of a shit. Just to say that, it's kind of like but it's doable. I mean, it's like anything. If you've got your abilities to be able to throw Voidy, even if it's a matter of throw Voidy to get your backside out of there, so you stay okay, and let Voidy take the aggro and die. It could mean the life or death, literally. Sometimes you just got to sacrifice them, including hunters' pets. So Voidy has been very good. Except in those tight situations where I forgot to turn off the AoE.
Whoops.
Yes, AoE.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you pull one thing and like 5 things come and you're like, ah! So sometimes you just gotta, you really look at, okay, what do I need on? What kind of pull am I making? That's, watch the pats. And the same can be said for any questing with any of them, is watch your pats, look where they're going, be prepared, have your way in and make sure it's your way out, or at least have a way to escape. Sometimes before you go in, I will look at the best way. All right, if something bad happens, I need to be able to get out. So if I get out, is there respawns? Is there this? What happens? Or is it a matter of too late, I'm dead? So all of those kinds of things can be really good, but I have quite often used my pets as sacrifice them to get yourself away.
Take it while I run, please. Distract them.
Yes. Distract.
Protect you.
Yes. So that's always an extra bonus to have, I guess you could say, with having the pet. It's a little bit. I haven't played the hunter since the squish. I have been playing a bit of warlock. I haven't really noticed too much, what can I say? Too much like they're being extra squishy or anything like that. Like Voidies have been squishy anyway before the squish. So, It's just, it's one of those things that I think sometimes just get out there, like give it a go. See if you find it comfortable. If you don't find it comfortable, some people are more comfortable just playing, that kind of melee or the DPS from range DPS, that kind of thing. So being an alcoholic, I'm always for go try something. See if it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, you die, you learn. That's always my thing, is you die and you learn from it. It's when you keep making that same mistake and you're not learning from it is I guess the biggest thing, because it's not helping you, and I'm talking to me here because I've done it myself. It's like, Leeta, just stop doing that for us. Stop falling asleep at the keyboard. That would be the big thing. Really. So yeah, we don't like doing that, but sometimes the body just crashes, guys. There's just like, I'm fine, and then it's like, yeah. So
it happens.
It does. I'm not as young as I used to be. I'm getting I need a nana nap more often than not. So so yeah. All right. So does that help? Does that help answer some questions for you? Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Any others that you'd like to know? Because I know that you're playing Horde side. So is there any zones, like you're curious about any zones or worried about any zones for questing?
Not really. I'm kind of going in and seeing them. I mean, I've done the leveling in this game so many times that, on the Alliance side anyway, that I feel like I'm pretty confident in the path, but as I go, I'm finding that I'm being a little foolish in my confidence, to put it nicely.
Yes. That's
but
okay.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was, because I do know the pets have the pathing issues sometimes, or if you jump off a cliff, like you're saying, they pull everyone and their grab on down to you.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, that's the main hesitation I have, but I do understand, like, it also has the plus of you can sacrifice to get the hell out of Dodge if you had to.
Yeah, I think once you get used to pet management, and remembering, let me dismiss before I jump down, let me resummon before I start fighting. Once you get into a rhythm with keeping an eye on your pet and telling him what to do and everything, it gets easier. So if like we said, if you're curious about it, go ahead and give it a try, or if it dies, make that a tin and you can use it as a scout ahead of time. That's
always a good thing too, is having a scout for those quests that you really are not sure about. Like, there's there is always those times when I'm doing something and I'm like, I don't remember this quest. Hang on, what does this one do? Or as a pacifist, or as a blood, can I take this on as opposed to an iron? And sometimes just logging out, swapping over, double checking can be the difference between I'm still alive or I'm dead or I'm flagged. Like, just
like,
having that.
WoWhead's great resource for looking up quests. However, you have to take everything with like a bag of salt instead of a grain, because everybody's either in heirlooms or full purples, or this was like 6 years ago, and that spell's been squished 6 times over by now, but not really squished. So sometimes doing is better than just going off comments on quests from another source alone.
Yes, and as we know, with the squish, we are well aware from Discord in particular that people are finding bugs. NPCs standing where they shouldn't be standing. Mobs taking I suppose less damage than they should, or more damage?
Yeah,